Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am your host, Zach, and today we are looking at the Osprey AG 65-liter backpack. And I have it empty right now, and we're going to just take it step by step as if I was going on a 3 or 4 day backpacking trip, and we're just going to show what I would load it out with. And I thought that would be great training for practicing for a bug out. So I have been hiking for 3, 4, 5 days dozens of times, and I just want to show what I would put in my kit. If I just knew I had to bug out for 3 days and I knew I was coming back, this would be a fairly simple kit to pack out in a not so suspicious kind of gray man backpack. So let's take a look at that today on Airborne Outdoors. So in our first category, we just got our shelter and sleep system options here, and the main culprit here is the Big Agnes Cooper Spur ultralight tent. Fairly expensive, but very high quality tent. Lightweight, all in one. Everything's in there. Fits right in the pack easily. Got my Hyke and Bike sleeping bag. Works great down to probably about 40 degrees, 45 degrees. I like to go hiking when it is a little on the cooler side of things, so I do often bring my Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner, which adds, I think it says about 30 degrees of temperature, but seriously it does add 10 or 20. So you get in that, and it's very soft and comfortable inside of that sleeping bag. And to go along with that, I just have my Ozark Trail memory foam pillow just folded up in that bag. And then what I sleep on is the Static 5 by, what is it, Klymit? Yeah, the Klymit Static 5 inflatable sleeping pad, and I just fold that up and throw it in my bag here. So I'm going to pack that stuff up into the bag, and we'll move on to the next category. So here we are on to the next category, and I have quite a few things laid out here just to show what we would pack in that kit. But first off, I have my Jetboil 1 liter cook pot, and I have some of the things laid out here. Got the lid and the little extension you can add on there to be able to put your cook pot on there if you wanted to. Got my coffee press there. Can show how this thing got my little gas tank on here, and you can fire that thing right up and it boils water in no time. You put 2 cups of water in there and it will boil in about a minute. That's about half full, and it's a 1 liter total. So also I normally bring 2 1 liter Nalgene canteen bottles. They work great to just fill up my water at the streams. Along with that, we have the Sawyer squeeze. Fill up my dirty bags. Screw on my filter. Fill up my bottles. You know, you sit down and relax for 5-10 minutes. It takes a minute to fill that up, but it's definitely not a big deal. And then I just bring the syringe to back flush it with. We got the Stanley cookpot set. Just a simple little, got your cups in there. And I have had this cookpot set. I have way more expensive ones and Pathfinder bottles and options. And this thing has just been so simple and cheap and easy to use for camping. I have just stuck with it over the years, and I've used that thing dozens of times. And then I just have laid out in this category, I have my Sea to Summit folding 10 liter bucket. I don't always use it, but it can be great to just go down to the stream and scoop up a bunch of water to take away. If you want to wash up and use soap and stuff that you don't want to get into the water supply, or do your dishes, clean your pots, and clean your Jetboil. And so you just have a nice little sink. And then to go along with that, I have my Sea to Summit pocket towel. This is a medium-sized one. It is 20 by 40 inches. And so it's very absorbent, quick drying, works great. Along with that Jetboil, you got a little bowl. So sometimes I'll just bring like little instant oatmeal or something like that. And it's a great little option. It just fits 1 pack at a time, but you can make it a couple at a time. So that's everything in that category. And so I'm going to show, well, I'm just going to pack it up, but we'll kind of give a brief description at the end of where everything is in the bag. These things I I put these water bottles on the side, obviously, but I put a lot of this cooking stuff in these long side pockets. Work great. So I'm going to do that right now, and we'll go on to the next category. So here we go with another pile of gear, just to show what we would pack up into that Atmos AG65 backpack. I don't always go very heavily on the equipment, because when you're just out hiking and you know the car's at the end, you're not exactly in a survival situation. But the practice of this bag is just to show, you know, what it is that I just go out with and survive for 3 days very easily. But just as far as having a little bit of equipment, I got my spool tool wound up with about 25 feet of 550 cord. I got my favorite Mora knife, that Kansbol. Great knife, lightweight, heavy duty, all reliable, black diamond spot headlamp. Had this thing for years, taking it on many hikes. Long handled titanium spoon, works great for getting down into those meals. Just a couple chem lights that I hang inside the tent. When I set up the tent, I just hang one of those up there, and I can crack that at night as I'm getting ready to go to bed, and have some light in there. Just a little hand-packed first aid kit. Don't always bring this heavy of a kit, but I do like to have some gear with me, especially when I'm alone and you never know what's going to happen. You know, have that liquid bandage in there, and just some band-aids and treatment options. And then even that full-size Trama Pak in there with the quick clot and everything. Few hygiene options in there. And anyway, you know, I don't hardly ever use it, but it's there in an emergency. And then I just laid out my favorite dehydrated meals, those ReadyWise dehydrated meals that are just a great deal. I buy them in this big meal kit. I'll leave a link in the description box to many of these items, just so you could find them quickly and easy on Amazon. Those are the Amazon affiliate links that you can use to find the products quickly and easily and help support the channel without costing you a penny. So I want to show, I'm going to pack all these up. I pack the meals sometimes in this front pocket or on the inside, but don't forget I have that big brain bag on the top here is where I carry a lot of my equipment type items. So I'm going to pack those away, and we'll move on to the rest of the items. So just looking at one of the last categories, this is the actual signal and navigation kit that I do tend to normally bring on my hiking trips to the Superior Hiking Trail. So I have all the maps. They have 6 maps laid out in each category. So it's a long over 300 mile trail. So these maps are really nice. I usually only end up using one of them because I'll hike one certain section for, you know, 10 to 30 miles, depending on how many days I'm going to be out. So those work great with that little UST waterproof notebook and the pencil. Got my great Brunton compass, my little UST whistle with a little compartment in there with the extra paper. Got my Sharpie pens and markers. Just threw my phone charger. Don't always bring this exact one, but I have a couple other Anchor phone chargers, a smaller one and a larger one. And so I usually bring something to be able to recharge that phone up, especially if I'm going to be out more than one night. Forgot to throw my Sea to Summit pack cover in the other category, but that I try to go when it's not forecasted to rain, but when it does, it's nice to have that along and cover up that pack so all your equipment doesn't get wet. And just a couple things I could have thrown in some the other way. I usually put that lighter inside of the my cook pot kit, and then I got a chunk of duct tape there that works great, just in case a hole in the mattress or a hole in the tent. And then I don't always bring it, but so a lot of times I do. I just bring my Taurus Model 85 Ultralight 38 Special, just loaded out with some critical defense rounds, and just because there are some black bears up there, and they are harmless and everything, but it's just a little peace of mind to at least be able to scare them away with a loud bang. And in a really critical emergency, obviously you would have the option to use it to protect yourself. So I'm gonna throw those things in the pack. And before anybody asks though, no, I would not usually bring 9 dehydrated meals with me, but I was just showing how you can pack 3 days of food in this bag. I usually pack 3 of the dehydrated meals, and then the rest of the meals I make my own stuff and pack my own bags and bring snacks and goodies and stuff like that. So let's pack this stuff up into the bag and wrap it up with the next category. So here's the kit all packed out, guys. And like I said, I do enjoy hiking in the fall weather, especially where it's just a little cooler, and try to hope for less chance of rain. Honestly, I don't pack a whole lot of extra clothing. Just here I have my bearskin hoodie, which would be great for a fall hike. Easy to take it off and on. Got that bearskin waterproof jacket. Can tie it to or hook it up to it. But those are easy to just throw in the back here or sling over the top. But there's a full bag loaded out, guys. I would love to get this bag out in the woods in the next day or two and just kind of show you guys how we got the food, water, shelter covered. A few extra options as far as first aid and cooking, and just a few supplies with some fire starters and knives and cordage and stuff. It's fairly simple to survive for 3 or 4 days. It is no big deal at all. If you're just going to go somewhere and sit there and do nothing for 3 or 4 days, there's just nothing to it. The hardest part for me right now would be that it's winter and very cold in the Minnesota weather, so I would need significantly more warmth and shelter options than this. But for spring, summer, fall, this bag would easily get you 3 days of survival. It's a no-brainer. So in the coming video, maybe I will pack this thing up and just go for a little walk and give you some highlights, set up that tent and get in there and maybe cook some lunch and just show how there's really nothing to it. Hiking is a great way to practice the whole survival bushcraft genre. If you have interest. I was kind of barely into first aid and survival kit type stuff, and then I got way into hiking, and then that kind of actually caused me to get more into survival gear and packing lists like that, because it's so fun going out hiking and just living out by yourself for a few days and moving some serious miles. So I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. We passed up our 1,000 subscribers, so we will be able to monetize the channel soon. We just got to wrap up a few watch hours, so make sure you watch the whole video and give me that like, share, and subscribe. If you're liking this kind of content, I'm still in my junior amateur stage. I'm just recording with my phone and with a lamp sitting on the desk, and I'm just in my little bug out room. But we're looking to upgrade the camera and upgrade the room to maybe make it more of a recording studio and have it a little more interesting. But we're categorizing all our items, guys, so we can really pack out some lists easily and have fun. So I hope you enjoy it. Come back and see me again on Airborne Outdoors.